It's the penultimate round of matches in Group G today. First up, Korea Republic's Pohang Steelers look to keep the pressure on the leaders by picking up another 3 points against a Ratchaburi side who are pointless and goalless from their opening 4 matches. They're out to salvage some pride for what's been a tough campaign for them so far. Some blue sky overhead of the Ratchaburi Stadium here in Bangkok, and Nagoya Grampus, the pace setters at the moment, 12 points from their 4 matches so far. Another victory today. If Pohang win here, that would leave those two battling it out for top spot, but a victory for Pohang to take them on to 12 could be good enough to take them through whatever happens as one of the best second place teams if they can't overhaul Nagoya at the top. Ratchaburi with a win would go level on 3 points with Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia. Johor play Nagoya in the second game a little bit later on. 36 degrees, very hot again here in Bangkok. So a few clouds around. No rain forecast today, fortunately. We have had some heavy showers here over the past week or so, but set fair today. Temperature has played a massive part in these games so far. Really does test the stamina of the players. This is the stadium used for the 1998 Asian Games. You may just have seen the bowl at one end of the ground there where the flame was for that particular tournament. But today it's the venue for the AFC Champions League group matches. Has been the venue all the way through for the matches in Group G. Familiar surroundings for both these teams now, playing their 5th matches today. Stephen Langhill there, number 11, back in the starting lineup today. We'll give you the confirmed team news very soon. Ratchaburi playing for pride. They know they can't progress in the competition, but they don't want to set those unwanted records of no wins and no goals scored. Has made changes in the last couple of games, the coach, Siksan Sirapong. Rotating things around. It's very much Japanese and Korea Republic orientated at the moment. The leading positions in all the groups, either a team from Japan or a team from the Korea Republic, leading the way in all 5 groups at the moment. They're going to be very heavily represented in the final 8, you would feel, unless there can be some breakthroughs from below. Alex Grant there, the Australian. Pohang have a good history in this competition. Winners in 2009, quarter-finalists in 2010 and 2014. It's the first time ever in this competition for Ratchaburi. One of 4 Thai teams. First time we've had 4 teams from Thailand in the group stages of this competition. So 3 wins and a defeat so far for Pohang. Their defeat came against Nagoya Grampus. It's the only game they've drawn a blank in terms of scoring as well. Picked up back-to-back wins over Johor in their last 2 matches. 4-1 the first game, they were dominant in that. Boris Tashti has got a couple of goals for them. They've spread the goals around. They've scored 8 goals so far, the Koreans. 6 different goal scorers. So Ratchaburi yet to score, yet to keep a clean sheet. It's been physically and mentally draining on the players with the games every 3 days and the protocols in place, of course, because of coronavirus. Teams are in a bio bubble, as are the officials, and everybody connected all in the same bio bubble for the stadiums. That comes with its own issues. But all in all, these teams that kicked off the competition back on the 22nd of June have come through things so far, and credit to everybody involved in getting the competition staged and staged safely. And we've seen some great football and some great goals over what's coming up to a couple of weeks in now. Teams on their way. Pohang in a light blue kit today, back in orange for Ratchaburi, who are on the team sheet anyway, the home team. So no home and away advantage, of course, this year, because all the games are being played in the same stadium, but you get the gist. Kang Sang-woo is the Pohang captain. And his opposite number for Ratchaburi, Pavi Tantami, will be wearing number 39. He'll be one of the 3 centre-backs. Assuming Ratchaburi go with the 3, that's what we've been led to believe once again. The usual round of applause before the captains will come together. Cameras need the wide-angle lens these days for the socially distanced team photos. And talking of teams, here are the teams. Ratchaburi shuffled their team last time out, and there's another 4 changes today for coach Seksan Sirapong. But some familiar names return. Stephen Langil, Junior Mapuku, Sebastian Wutterik and Tanaset Surajin all return. They've been regulars in the opening couple of games. The Dragons did create more opportunities in their last match against Nagoya than in any other match. They'll hope to convert at least 1 today as they try to break that duck of getting their first goal. Our referee today is from Qatar, Suad Al Adba. Second match in the group stage, having taken charge of the Group F match between Ulsan Hyundai and BG Pathum United last week. Looks as though Ratchaburi won the toss. Pavi and Sang-woo, the 2 captains, onto the Pohang team. And there's just 1 change in their starting 11 today. Alex Grant, who's appeared in a sub in all 4 games so far, gets a start at the expense of Lee Kwang-jun, who's on the bench. 6 of the side, including goalkeeper Kwang Hyun-moo, have started all 5 games now. 4 of those players, though, are on a yellow card and would miss the final game should they pick up another booking today, Grant included among them. All 4 players to drop out to the Ratchaburi starting lineup are on the bench today, including strikers Apiwet Pen Prekon and Sitichok Kanu. And 2 players on the Pohang bench also on yellow cards as well, should they be called upon this afternoon or this evening. Final huddle, final few words. We'll see how the 2 sides will line up. We think Alex Grant will play in the centre. He has come on and played left-back, but Sang-woo usually operates on that left-back position. So the opening game of the day in Group G, it will be Pohang Steelers to get us underway in the pale blue. They will kick from left to right in the first half. 3 points would take them level with Nagoya, who are in action a little bit later on, but it could well be a winner-take-all scenario in their final game for top spot. Doesn't come down to goal difference, by the way, for the final group positions. It comes down to the goal difference in the matches between the teams concerned. Nagoya beat Pohang 3-0 in their opening match, but a long way to go before we need to get the calculators involved. They've got to get the 3 points here first against a Ratchaburi side who were a little more determined in their last game. They created 7 goal-scoring opportunities, 3 of them on target. The most they've managed so far in any game. And Seksan Sirapong believing that they're not too far away from maybe causing a few problems. First touch for Boris Tashti. Not too sure how he's feeling this morning, the Ukrainian, after their exit to England in the Euro 2020 quarter-finals last night. Probably wasn't allowed to stay up and watch it. It would have been very late here in Thailand. There is Seksan Sirapong. Believes his players suffered a case of nerves in their first game against Pohang when they lost 2-0 right on the opening day. It was good play from Sang Hyub. Shot blocked. Kim Ji-dong is the Pohang coach. Tashti and Lim Sang Hyub getting the goals when these sides met. They're back on the 22nd of June, the opening games of the AFC Champions League group stage. Almost 2 weeks ago now. That's an early corner here for the side from the Korea Republic. Based in North Gyeongsang in the east of Korea. Jin Ho with the corner. Into the near post towards Tashti. Ratchaburi did put a good defensive performance in their second game against Johor. They only lost that one by a goal to nil. Johor struggled to get going in that game. So in the last match, Junior Mapuku, who made his debut in this competition for his new team, Ratchaburi, managed a couple of chances in the last game, something he hadn't managed to do in the first games. Stephen Langill's a good supply line as well. Wutterik bringing that European experience into the centre of midfield as well. Chase on for Langill. It's well cut out by Wang Q. You just see the 3 centre-backs there in orange. Nakul Kit Pavi and Praveen Vat. Chip across, he's only into the side netting though. The coach has been pleased with his side's performances so far, so they just lost that one game against Nagoya Grampus. Sang Hyub. Grant. He's a left-footer, Grant, so we'll play as the left-sided centre-back, Wang Q on the right. So that's Sangwoo, the captain, outside him at left-back. So experienced backline today for Pohang Steelers. This is Jin Ho. Now Kwang Hoon. Su Bin, patient at the moment. Everybody back by one behind the ball for Ratchaburi. Good ball again, Kwang Hoon in a bit of space and chance to pick his cross in towards the near post, towards Tashti. It's gone for a corner. It's patient from Pohang. Tashti maybe felt that struck an arm on its way out. He maybe did, but it came off the leg of Pavi. They've changed the rules now, so if the ball does deflect off another part of your body, it's a little bit less likely to be given as an infringement. If it hits directly, then you could be in trouble. Corner from Jin Ho into the near post again. Tashti can't get on the end of it. Everybody back once again for Ratchaburi. Jin Ho. Tashti. Well played by Praveen Vat, who came across and just shepherded that behind for a goal kick. Knows how important it is to win today. If Pohang don't get 3 points, then it would need Johor needing to get a result against Nagoya for them to still have a chance of finishing top of the group. There's Sang Woo. Seung Mo. And Jin Ho. Good ball looking for the run of Sang Hyub. That'll be gathered by Kampon, who, to say he hasn't kept a clean sheet, had a pretty good spell in goal. Kampon Pataman Atakul. So Ratchaburi, as we said, lost all four without scoring. Tampines Rovers and Guangzhou have also lost all four without scoring. The only other team without a single point in the 5 groups is Kaya FC from the Philippines. 0 points, but they did manage to find the net in their opening game. It was a consolation in a 4-1 defeat, but they have scored. Only 2 teams have previously lost 5 in a row. SHB Da Ning from Vietnam and Sada Kudru from Iran. Ratchaburi looking to halt that, what would be an unwanted record for them. Hardly been out of their own half in the opening 8 minutes. It's Tashti. And again, Boris Tashti. A little nudge in the back from Praveen Vat. No foul on Sang Hyub, although the referee, in fact, the referee's giving it away for Ratchaburi. Well, he has linked into Praveen Vat. It's not really shoulder to shoulder. I think you may have a case there, Sang Hyub. Not quite sure. I think the free kick went against him for handball in the end. Little unfortunate, but it was the referee's decision. Stephen Langill's hardly had a kick so far. Good ahead from Mapuku, who's sporting a new hairstyle now. The dreadlocks have gone. Gone for the shaven head approach. Joined from Al Shula in Saudi Arabia, Junior Mapuku. It's Kang Hoon. Grant. Sang-woo, you're looking for the run of Young Jun. Movement off the ball is good from the Koreans. Very clever at being able to make space to make themselves available for the pass. Had a lot of possession in their 4 matches so far. Nice ball flicked onto Tashti. It was Sang-hyub trying to put the centre forward in, but the little flick didn't quite come off for him. Kang-hoon. Tashti. Kampon came, I'm not too sure he called for that. It's Pavi who cleared the ball away. Now a chance maybe from Mapuku to come forward. Ratchaburi looking to mount a ref foray into the Pohang half. There's a chance it might fall for Langil. Grant comes across and just used his experience there to make sure Langil couldn't get through. Hyun-moo was quickly off his line. Played a large part of his career in Australia, Alex Grant. Played 5 seasons at Perth Glory before joining Pohang in December last year. Only made 1 appearance in the K-League so far this season. Yeah, did well there. Just got across in front of Langil. Free kick to defend here. Tanner said it was that gave the free kick away. Holding the line on the edge of the penalty area. Grant's forward for this. That's too close to the goalkeeper. Seen that a lot as well. Poor delivery from free kicks in good positions. Early stages, I know, but Pohang have enjoyed 83% of the ball already in the opening 13 minutes. Jakopan with a throw. Nice ball over the top. This is Langil. Mapuku racing to try and get in the centre. Langil taking on Grant. Getting the better of Grant as well. Just overhit the cross slightly. Down the line by Wucherik. Was Patumchai. Move breaks down again in the final third before they can mount a serious attempt on Hyun-moo's goal. Only founded back in 2004. Ratchaburi started in the Thai second division. Good take by Kampon. They reached the Thai League Cup final when they're in the second tier in the old Division 1. They were beaten 4-1 by Buriram United. It's a bizarre situation, that game. They went into the match with no substitutes because they had several loanees from Buriram who were ineligible to play against their parent club, so they played the game with just 11 players. 4-1 defeat on that occasion. Finished 15th out of 18th the following season. Would have been relegated, but the league was expanded to 20 teams. And that's when their fortunes started to turn around. into the AFC Champions League for the first time in their history. Qualified because they were in 4th place halfway through the most recent season. Big learning curve though. Here's Grant. Jakapan. Mapuku. Got the ball out of his feet quickly, but Kiatasak was just a little bit behind the plate. Nagoya Grampus against Johor later on. Nagoya looking to extend their 100% record. Tashti. Young Jun's behind him. Sangwoo. Subin. Just kept in by Sang Hyuk. Another good cross, free header. Just turning away from Gol Seung Mo and guides it wide. Applause from the coach. That's a good move. It was patient again. But Ratchaburi, well, no defender, picked up Seung Mo, who was in between two. Pavi and Nakulkit. There's a player down off the field, which we didn't see. For the moment, it's Boris Tashti just clutching his right shin. And a cool kit helping him back to his feet. Tashti not too impressed with the challenge. Oh, that's a nasty one. He's gone straight over the top of the ball, and he's lucky not to get a card there, Cool Kit. That was naughty. No damage done to Tashti though, and Sangwoo will swing over the corner. First corner of the game. Better delivery! Alex Grant from close in has fired over the top. What a chance. Well, he knows that was a chance to get his first goal for his new club. Well, it was 2 loads ahead, and he caught it on the up, which is why it's flown over the bar. What a chance. The clearest chance of the game so far. Hasn't scored since a goal for Perth Glory against Western Sydney Wanderers back in December 2019, Alex Grant. He's only scored 6 senior goals in the whole of his career, 3 of those coming in England. At some lower division clubs, Macclesfield Town and Havant and Waterlooville, a non-league side where he started his career on loan after moving from Portsmouth. Sang Hyuk. Pohang dictating the pace of the game at the moment. They've done that quite a lot. They've done that well. So we've spoken a lot about how technically good the Koreans and the Japanese are at moving off the ball and just retaining possession, grinding opposition down. And in this 36-degree heat, that's going to sap the energy of the legs from Ratchaburi. See, they're playing the 3 centre-backs, but the 2 wing-backs are dropping in as well, Kiatasak and Tanaset, so it is really a 5 at the back at the moment. It should turn into a 3 with a 5-man midfield when they're going forward, but at the moment they're not going forward. This is Kwang Hoon. Back heel to Jin Ho. Sang Hyuk. Get it back across the box. Sang-hyub did score in the opening game against Ratchaburi. Tashti with the opening goal on 11 minutes. Sang-hyub 9 minutes from the end. Young-jun with a good ball whipped in. Always dangerous when they're coming in with the opposite foot, so they're swinging in towards the goalkeeper. The right footer on the left-hand side. Tashti gets there just ahead of Pavi. That was spin away though for the goal kick. Hasn't had much to do so far. Hyun-moo in a fetching shade of lilac today. Amazing how goalkeepers' kits have evolved over the years. It used to be just green, which is what Kampon's wearing today, but it's almost like a fashion statement now, a goalkeeper's kit. The same could be said of referees, I suppose. Referees conventional today, all in black, the man in the middle from Qatar. That's Mapuku going down under Wang Q's challenge. It'll be a free kick. Might be a first time that Hyun-moo's goal is threatened. Saksan Sirapong hasn't really moved off his seat too much in the opening quarter of the match so far. Looking to take whatever positives he can into the new Thai League season, which will start in just a few weeks' time. Jakapan with a free kick. He headed from Wutterik, I think, who got the final touch, but again, he didn't get any forward motion towards goal. Just skimmed across his forehead and harmlessly ran out of play. Still goalless. So a quarter of the first half gone here in Bangkok. Anything less than a win for Pohang and a victory for Nagoya later would mean that the Japanese would win the group and book their place in the knockout stages. Nice play. Sang-woo. Well closed down by Nakul Kit to concede the corner. Started every game so far, Kang Sang-woo. Actually part of Korea's under-20 team that played in the under-20 World Cup back in Turkey in 2013. So played at most youth levels for Korea. Grant trying to get away from his man, doesn't reach him this time. Sang-woo with a second chance to cross. Tashti had taken a tumble, but he's back on his feet. Flicked on, kept in by Grant. It wasn't kept in by Grant, just crossed the line. Another chance from the set piece for Pohang Steelers to take the lead, passes them by. Well out of play. Pohang have scored 8 goals in their last 4 matches in the group stages here. That's more goals than they managed in their previous 12 games. They managed 7 goals in their 12 games prior to this year's competition. Much better for them in front of goal. Mapuku tussling away. Nearly lost his shorts there to Kwang Hu. Played in a whole host of countries around the world. Junior Mapuku started in France, moved on to Greece, Bulgaria, Egypt, and more lately Iran and Saudi Arabia. He's one that the term journeyman does fit quite well. Wuttering, Mapuku, that's a nice ball. I didn't catch it cleanly. Well, it was a glorious opportunity. Pathum Chai with the shot that he's comfortably gathered by Hyun Moo. Easy for the goalkeeper. Kiatisak to Praveen Bhatt. Wuttering. Another free kick. Wang Q just staring down the referee, and that just been urged to move away by Soo Bin. Won't want to incur any unnecessary yellow cards. Disciplinary record for Pohang's been pretty good so far. Wang Q hasn't picked up a yellow. It's a pretty good going for a central defender. They've had a couple of free kicks now, but they haven't taken advantage. Hyun Moo did make that save a moment or so ago from Pathum Chai, but it was a fairly tame effort from the central midfielder. Langill's over the free kick, Jakapan's over the free kick. Langill moving away now. Full start. Oh, misses out to everybody. It's a goal kick. Wasted again, really. Wuttering was in the thick of it. It's not a bad aerial presence, actually, Wuttering, for a midfield player. Pavi at the back post. Just couldn't reach it. There's just one game to go before these sides after this conclude their campaign. 3 days' time, it'll be Ratchaburi against Johor Darul Tazim and Pohang Steelers against Nagoya Grampus, so that game could be vital and pivotal in the destination of the top spot in the group, depending on this result here and the result later on, of course. Foul on Pavi by Tashti. He was just a little bit too aggressive with that leading arm. Referees do tend to clamp down on that these days. Tashti. Soo Bin. Well kept in by Kwang Hoon. He's got Sang Hyub outside him. Away by Praveen Bhatt. That's a high foot from Sung Mo. It's a sharp one on the knee. Oof. Very painful. Half an hour gone, so the players coming off for the drinks break. Say 36 degrees today. Very hot in Bangkok. Kim Ji-dong will be a little frustrated. His side haven't created more chances. The best falling to Alex Grant, that ball that came in and tried to guide it in on the volley, but completely missed it. Well, flied it over the top, rather. That's the best chance they've had so far. Just one save at the other end, a shot from Pathum Chai, which was gathered by Hyun Mook. He knows how close he was. Alex Grant. Maybe he's there for the diving header. He opted for the volley. But no goals here inside the opening 31.5 minutes. Ratchaburi finished 8th last season in the Thai League table, 31 points behind BG Pathum United, who were the champions. 13 wins in 30 matches. Be interesting to follow their progress this season, having been in this competition and added to their ranks with Mapuku. Langya will be entering into his 3rd season with Ratchaburi. It's away by Kampon. Here's Kwang Hoon. Kiatasak. Tanaset having a go himself. Haven't really seen the wing-backs getting forward much so far. That's the highest I think we've seen Tanaset in the game so far. The angle was always tight for him. Mapuku racing through the centre. But they're desperate to get this first goal. Ratchaburi. Hooked away by Nakulkit. Jakapan. Wutterik. Nakulkit onto Pathum Chai, who will put a little bit of pressure under Grant, but a comfortable ball back to the goalkeeper. Chase on for Young Jun. Back inside Tanaset, early ball in. Sang-hyub won't quite keep that one in play. Out for a goal kick. So it's all in the approach from Pohang Steelers at the moment. It's just that final ball that hasn't really been on the money for them. I think he'll know that. Kim Ji-dong was a midfielder back in his days. He played for Pohang when they were POSCO Atoms. Made just under 200 league appearances for Yukong Elephants, who became Bucheon. Spent 9 years there. 501 league appearances in the K-League, the 5th highest appearances in the Korean League for Kim Ji-dong. Wang Kyu penalised once again, and he'll have to be careful. He's been warned a couple of times now by the referee. He was all over Langya, giving no quarter, I think it's fair to say. Mapuku, Wutterik, Jakapan, Kiatasak, just had a Jakapan's reach. That was an interesting little spell of passing with a little bit of pace on it from Ratchaburi. So they did change their tactics slightly in the last match to play a bit more open, and they did manage to actually create some chances. They have created a couple of half chances here in the first half. It's Grant. Sang-woo with the throw. Sang-hyub. Seung-mo giving away to Mapuku. Patamchai. Tanaset. Too high for Langil. It was a hopeful ball. You can see the frustration really on Langil, the body language just saying, let's keep it simple. We're hitting 50-yard balls. Just keep the ball on the ground and find feet and see what happens. Stabbed forward by Jin Ho. Really congested on the edge of the penalty area. It's Jin Ho. Sang-hyub. That's out of reach of Jin Ho again, and just lacking a little bit of composure on the end there. It's a busy day today. 3 more games coming up for you in the group stages. We've got the second game in this group coming up later on. Nagoya Grampus against Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia. And 2 games in Group F today. Gamba Osaka from Japan against Chiang Rai United from Thailand. And Tampines Rovers from Singapore against Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, another Korean side in the competition. Here it's still 0-0. Ratchaburi ridden their luck a little. Pohang have had a couple of half chances, Tashti and Alex Grant. Grant's was a particularly good chance. This is Kwang Hoon. No chance for Tashti, away by Pavi. Jin Ho. Flip for Young Jun. Sang-woo. Better ball in. Jakapan misses it. Sang-woo. Over the top. Little knock back by Sang-hyub. Took a deflection actually off Wutterik. Shot was too high there from Kwang Hoon. Steelers have never lost against a team from Thailand. 2 wins and a draw, their previous 3. The only other Thai team they played in the group stages was Buriram United in 2014. 0-0 draw and a 2-1 win in the home and away legs. They played Chonburi in a playoff in 2012 to qualify. Beat them by 2-0. It's Youngjun taking on the cool kid, Sangwoo. Can they get a goal before half-time? Sang-hyub, lovely ball, nicely brought under control as well. Kampon gathers, just nearly pulling back a little bit. Tashti was closing in on it. Ball was favouring the goalkeeper though. Header from Alex Grant. There's a player down injured, just took a knock in the back. It's Sangwoo, the captain, who felt that challenge. Uncontested drop balls these days, of course. Gone are the days where the referee would drop the ball in and beat a hasty retreat while two players battled over it. Chance still, the ball's not cleared, and away, deflected away by Nakul Kit. Sangwoo. Lovely ball in behind the defenders. Sang-hyub with a cross. Sangwoo got a second opportunity, blocked away by Nakul Kit. Sangwoo with the corner. Loads of bodies inside the penalty area once again. They're very much the last line of defence at the moment. Mapuku going down. Another challenge from Wang Qiu. So he has been penalised on 3 or 4 occasions now, the central defender. I just wonder, the referee might be saying to him, no more. Jinho. Final minute of the first half. So despite having all the possession, Pohang Steelers have been unable to take the lead. 80% possession, just under they've had in the first half. It's too much on it again for Tashti, who gets a little frustrated. It's a typical striker. Wants the ball played into him where he can do something with it, but Sangwoo just overhitting that one. Injury here to, I think it's Praveen Vat, one of the 3 central defenders that's gone down. 3 minutes added time. Do tend to get a little bit more added on, of course, to allow for the drinks break. Yeah, Praveen Vat making his third start today. Looks like he's picked up a knock. Whether they'll try and get him through to half-time or the referee wants him to leave the field. Players taking the opportunity to get some water in an official drinks break. See if they can patch him up, ready for the second half. Will be a little bit extra. Subin and Kwang Hoon. Jin Ho. Now Grant. Bit of pace on that one again for Young Jun. Firing those balls in at the moment. That was Sang Woo who couldn't get a foot on that one. Subin. Plenty of players back behind the ball. They've done a good job of frustrating Pohang in this first half. Ratchaburi, they haven't had much of the ball, but he's got those banks of four working, and the five at the back. Flip from Tashti, away by Tanaset. Subin. Curl out just wide. Kampong taking no chances with that one as the half-time whistle goes. The last chance of the half could have been a spectacular goal, but it went flashing just wide of the post. Mapuku has worked hard in that first half, hasn't had too many chances. It's Pohang Steelers that have had the best efforts on goal. The best chance falling to Alex Grant when he went for the volley, which was over the top. The draw not really of much use to Pohang Steelers when they're trying to chase down Nagoya at the top. Half-time here at the Rajam Gala Stadium. Ratchaburi 0, FC Pohang Steelers 0. Welcome back to the Ratchaburi Stadium in Bangkok. Ratchaburi just a little bit slow to emerge for the second half, but Pohang Steelers are ready to go. 0-0 after the opening 45 minutes. Ratchaburi have now gone 4.5 games without a goal. Just waiting to see if we get any changes to either team at half-time. Move there, the Pohang goalkeeper had one save to make in that first half, a low shot from Patam Chai, which didn't really have too much pace on it. Not too many clear-cut opportunities for that one, either Boris Tashti in the first half. Ratchaburi are making a change. It's going to be Dekmite that comes on. Don't think they've got the paperwork sorted out just yet. See who it is that's making way. Jakapan is the player that's gone off. And it is Ratchaburi that get us underway for the second half. Dekmite, who's started 3 and made 2 appearances off the substitutes bench now. Reminder, a win today for Pohang would take them on to 12 points, level at the top of the group with Nagoya Grampus, who play Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia later. That's Langil's ball in it. Good header away by Quang Hoon. There is the substitute. Sanawat Dekmite started his career in Singapore with Tampines Rovers. Good ball across. Very nearly stabbed in. Bit of quality on that from Sang Hyub. And it was Seung Mo that was the closest man to it. Grant's header. Subin trying to guide it forward. Too many orange shirts back behind the ball, though, as they were in the first half. I think Pohang are going to have to be a little bit more creative in this second half to try and break down the Ratchaburi defence. It was Jung Chun, on by Quang Hoon. Now Sang Hyub. Too high for Tashti, who was trying to get away from Pavi. The ball forward. Flag's gone up. Sangwoo just coming back from an offside position when he picked up that loose ball. Flag went up straight away over on the far side. So they need to get the ball up to Langil and Mapuku, really, if they're going to try and cause any problems here, Ratchaburi. Only failed to score in 5 league games all last season. They were pretty good in front of goal. They scored 48 goals in their 30 matches in the Thai league. Straight away they're on the back foot at the start of the second half. Away by Kiatasak. Grant. It's over hit. Looking for Sangwoo. Loves to get forward. He is a fullback, Sangwoo, the captain, but he's one of those fullbacks that plays high up the field. Ratchaburi furious. They felt that should be their throw. The Qatari referee and the assistant on this near side gave it the other way. They were looking at each other a little bit, waiting for one to make the decision. And that should be a Ratchaburi throw. Players more often than not get that right. Header by Seung Mo. Quality of the refereeing, though, overall has been superb so far in this tournament. Good thing is the referees have always tried to let the play go as well. They've been quite happy to let it run and bring things back if there's a foul given away early on. They haven't got VAR to help them out with the big decisions, of course, although they will do in the quarter-final stages onwards. With a good ball curled in, punched away by Kampon. Didn't get too much distance on that. Hits Dekmite. Here's Tashti. Blocked by Tanaset. Patamchai. Yeah, foul by Seung Mo. Hasn't had too many chances in the game so far, Boris Tashti. He's not a player you want to give too much room to inside the penalty area. Just out of the reach of Seung Mo. To return to league action on the 21st of July. Pohang Steelers, they've got a trip to Jeonbuk Motors. So they really need to kick-start their career there. Well, their season, rather. They've 7 wins out of 18 so far. Did win their last 2 in a row coming into this against Chungnam and Gwangju, one in the league and one in the FA Cup. Youngjun. Away by Pavi, only as far as Jinho. Keeping the pressure on here at the start of the second half, Pohang Steelers. Jinho. Siang Hub's continued his run. Good defending from Praveen Vat. That's good defending at the moment from Ratchaburi. They're going to make another change. Narakor Noom Chansical is going to come on. Youngjun, Sangwoo, a clip in by Youngjun, but ball goes out of play. So here comes the change. Narakor coming on. It's Sebastian Wuttrick that's coming off. Wuttrick back into the starting lineup today, the Swiss. Mapuku. I just wonder whether as time wears down, the Koreans are going to get a little bit frustrated that they can't break down this Ratchaburi defence. As we said, a point isn't really good enough for them, because if Nagoya were to win later, that would guarantee the Japanese top spot in the group and a place in the knockout stage, and leave Pohang sweating on a second-place finish. Have to be one of the best at 3 of the best second places. Langill. There's one possession back, but won it back unfairly. Just coming in from the wrong angle to make the challenge, Stephen Langill. You can't fault the effort of the Thai side at the moment. Sungmo, shot was blocked again. Mapuku. That's a poor ball. Trying to find Langill. Shot was blocked. Too many orange shirts back behind the ball again. Mapuku may have just picked up a knot. Couple of clever step-overs, but hasn't really created too many chances for himself as yet, Mapuku. Change for Pohang, their first of the match. Kim Ryan-sung coming on for a second appearance off the substitutes bench, and Boris Tashti, who's not had a great deal of luck today, I think it's fair to say, is coming on. 19 years old, Brian Song, only made his debut back in March for Pohang Steelers. Be a little bit of reorganisation Good ball in, too close to the goalkeeper though. Campon gathers, clean pair of hands. Just need to come up with something for that final ball at the moment. Pohang. It's all the Steelers at the moment. Grant. Plenty of time to turn and get things moving again. With every minute that ticks by, though, Ratchaburi just grow with a little bit of confidence at the back. Ten players back behind the ball at the moment. Jin Hyo trying to shoot again, couldn't get round those orange shirts. Well, that's just gone out of play, has it? The flag stays down. Thought that had gone out of Ryun Sung. Langil was strong. Here goes Mapuku chasing down Grant. Just got there first. Wang Q. Subin. Tanaset with a foot in once again. Sometimes think when teams are getting so many players back behind the ball, that's when you have to be a little bit creative. It's no good saying they park the bus, because you have to come up with a pass that's going to just to lock that defence, and that's what Pohang is struggling with at the moment. We'll find teams do this. Ryung Song. It's an awkward one for the substitute. Came down from a great height. Langil. Tanaset back to Nakulkit. Mapuku. It's the striker that's been penalised for backing in. Might be a little unfortunate with that. Narakorn playing the ball back into his own penalty area. Here he's on the ball now, going the right way. Playing a bit of a dangerous game. Kiatasak. Langil. Mapuku up with him. Sang-woo chasing back. Grant just forcing Langil cross-field. Langil took a shot. Took a deflection. I think he came off his own man. Not bad, Stephen Langil. Narakorn straight involved in the action. I think he clipped the back of Narakorn on its way out. I don't think it was going in. Sang-woo. Jin Ho. Langil's challenge was an unfair one. Referee had a look. There were two challenges in there that potentially could have been penalised. That's the one that he has given the foul for by Stephen Langil. Oh, back on defensive duty once again. Ratchaburi. Can Pohang find that killer delivery that will set things up for one of their forward players? Set their stall out, they've set their shape out, Ratchaburi, to frustrate Pohang, and they've done that for coming up to 65 minutes now. It's Jin Ho over the free kick. Might fancy his chance from here. It's a good way out to get up and down over the wall. Kampon waits on his line. He's got it up. He can't get the ball down at the end. That's a good delivery. He was a long way out there, had good chance there. So to get the little dip on the end there to test the keeper, it's well wide of the target actually from, I think you see it from that angle. And he won't be too happy with that. Don't forget, Ratchaburi haven't picked up a single point yet. It's been a much better performance this season in the group stages for Pohang. Won 3 of their 4 games in the group. That was after managing just 1 win in their previous 8 games. They've never won 4 games in a single edition of the AFC Champions League. Still have 1 game to go after this, of course, against Nagoya Grampus. And they're piling on the pressure. Surely this pressure will tell at some point. Rian Song, no real height on that ball in. Su Bin. Rian Song. Nobody attacking. That's the space where Tashti would have been had he still been on. Su Bin. Sang Woo. Pull back from the byline, cut out by Pavi. Just can't get the ball clear at the moment. Su Bin. Sang Woo. And Ratchaburi might get this clear with Narakorn. Spinning back towards his own goal again, away by Praveen Bhatt. Narakorn. Lengil's ball over the top. Keeper's a long way out here, Hyun Moo. They've won 5 K-League titles, Pohang. The last back in 2004. It's been a while since they've reigned in their own country. Have to work hard to try and make up the deficit this year. It doesn't look as though they're going to be able to challenge. Another good ball in off the bar. Shin Ho's header. And it's cannoned off the bar. Could have gone anywhere, could have hit Kampon. But it's bounced to safety, and Ratchaburi, well, leading a charmed life at the moment. Here come Pohang again. Ryun Song. There is no way through. It's the closest we've come to a goal. Ryun Song. Cut out by Tanaset. What wins the throw? It's gone down with possibly a touch of cramp. Such is the temperature. There's the ball across. Sung Mo's header, square off the bar. Well, it did actually hit the keeper. He's a bit fortunate there, Kampon. It's come off his knee, could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for him, it's bounced to safety. the cool kit. Mapuku holds the ball up well. Grant in on Langil. Had more of the ball in the second half, Ratchaburi. They're going to make another change in just a moment. Be a first appearance for Ekalab and Pani Chakul. In terms of shots, I think this is the standout stat, really. Pohang have had 18 shots on goal, none on target. That will be particularly frustrating for Kim Ji-dong. Confirmation of that, 18-4. Ratchaburi have actually had the only shot on target in the game so far. That was that Patamchai shot in the first half that was saved by Hyun Moo. Going to make a double change, it would appear. Montree, he's also going to come on. Dekmite with a free kick. Punched away by Hyun Moo under a little bit of pressure then. Now there might be a break on. On by Sang-woo. Sang-ho. Jin-ho. Three in the centre. That won't find any of them. It's prevented from going behind for a goal kick, but it's gone out for a throw. Here comes the change then, or the changes, should I say. Patamchai, who had that shot on target in the first half, is going off. And Tanaset is also going off, the wing-back. Montree has appeared off the bench once, one start. Ekalab, first time we've seen him, he was playing for Samut Sakon in Thai League 2 not so long ago, the 27-year-old, but getting a start here. And like most of his teammates have done for the 72 minutes so far, he's straight back onto defensive duties. Still 0-0. Jin-ho with the free kick. Angled in again. It's a good defensive header to get the ball away for a corner. It's a better delivery that time. Jin-ho just taking the pace off it. Players taking the opportunity before the corner to take on some water. It's very hot here. So mid-30s. Grant's forward. Had the best chance in the first half for Pohang Steelers. And he's not getting too much getting away from Mapuku at the moment. Just heading from in front of Grant. There was no call from Alex Grant. That's gone out of play. Just taken away from in front of Grant. A whack on the head for Praveen Vat. So drinks break in the second half. A chance for Ratchaburi just to get a few final instructions for Seksan Siripong for the final quarter of an hour of the game. They've defended so well so far, but you just know Pohang are going to keep coming at them for the 93, 94 minutes, however long we'll play. Kim Ji-dong, who was an AFC Champions League winner as a player with Pohang back in 2009, two-time K-League winner. He was the K-League Manager of the Year in 2020 for his achievements with the Koreans. Pohang finishing in third place in the 2020 K-League season. They were 10 points behind the winners Chonbuk Motors and 7 behind second place Ulsan Hyundai. Did enable them to qualify for this competition. Here come the Koreans again. Ryun Sung. Langil. Chested off by Langil, who will take over before Montreal could get there. It's a foul by Kwang Hoon. It just trod on the Achilles. It's one of those ones that comes a little bit sharp. Grant. Three in the centre. Cleverly pulled back to Young Jun. Just fired over the top. He's took more in the middle since Tashti went off, Young Jun. He's moved into the middle with Ryun Song coming on this near side. He found space, got away from his man, got away from the captain, Pavi, who stuck to him. But that change of player in the middle occasionally just throws off the central defenders. Puku came a long way to get the header on that. That's a heavy touch. Slide by Ryun Song. Through and taken quickly by Montreal. Now Narakorn. Looking for Dekmite, just lost the ball for a moment. Ekalab. Away by Kampon. Ekalab. Good foul by Ryun Song. Nagoya Grampus against Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia. Here's the second match to come today. Johor can't catch Pohang. Well, they could catch Pohang if Pohang lose here and Johor win their remaining 2 games. So the final league positions is down to the head-to-head goal difference rather than the overall goal difference. So any teams that finish level on points, it'll be down to the goal difference with the teams that they're level on points with, which at the moment wouldn't really work in Johore's favour, it would work in Pohang's favour because of a 2-0 win against the Malaysians. Well, and a 4-1 win. So whatever happens, the Koreans are finishing in the top two. Nagoya Grampus, top of the table, 12 points, 100% record. Will they extend that later on? Can Pohang find a way through? We're running out of time. We're approaching the final 10 minutes of the 90. Dekmite, Narakorn, Montree. There's a slip which is allowed in Langil. That's a poor ball though. Trying to flame Mapuku. Just slipped as he played it. Had a bit more of the ball in the second half, Ratchaburi, but not massive amount. Still possession weighing very heavily in Pohang's favour. Touch from Mapuku. Well, he might be in here. That's well defended by Wanku. Just for a second, it looked like Mapuku might have got the better of the central defender, but Wanku making a good challenge. Sang Hyub, who's switched sides now. Deflected away off Montree for the corner. I think Mapuku's struggling here. Wanku did okay, he just got a foot on the ball. Corner for Pohang. Be taken by Sangwoo, the captain. Near post, almost got a touch. Half cleared away, good challenge by Langil. Need to focus Ratchaburi. They're to pick up their first point. They still haven't scored a goal yet. Grant's header. Plucked out of the air by Campon. No power in the header from Alex Grant. Would have needed something a little bit special to beat Campon from that sort of range, but comfortable for the goalkeeper. Montree, Mapuku. Grant wins the ball back, Sang Hyub. Subin. Sangwoo. Sang Hyub is on this near side. That's down the line for Ryun Sung. Foul by the Korean. Change for each side. Apawat coming on for Mapuku, who I think picked up a knock a moment or so ago. He wasn't looking too comfortable when he was chasing that ball a moment or so ago. So Apawat is on for a third appearance, first as a substitute. Mapuku's day is over. And Young Jun is coming off for the Koreans. Ming Wang coming on, started 3 of the 5 games and now coming on off the bench. I think the heat's taken it out of Mapuku as well. So mid 30 degrees Celsius. Jin-ho. Sang-hyuk. Bobbling around awkwardly, didn't fall for Sang-woo. Away by Montri. Dekmite. Just held up slightly. Grant was always the favourite just to cover that. In the end, it was he and Ryun Song between them that managed to get the ball away. It's too much for Langil. Ball out wide again, all the pressure coming from the Koreans. It's a free header from Sang-hyuk, and he can't make a clean contact. It's been frustrating for the Koreans thus far. Four waiting in the centre still, desperate to try and find this winning goal. They've got a corner. Right away across goal again. How many orange shirts are back behind the ball? Can they survive for the remaining 2 minutes or so, plus stoppages? Floated in again, good header by Montri. Grant comes steaming in, can't get a contact on the ball though. Foot up by Dekmite. Another free kick. Pressure relentless at the moment. In swing up, and another good header away. You can see what this means to Ratchaburi. Well, it's been a defensive performance. It'll be their first point and stop the rot of 4 consecutive defeats if they can hold on. We've seen some late goals in this competition so far. Campon making sure the referee's keeping an eye on the pushing that's going on in front of him. Punched away by the keeper. Only as far as Ryun Song. Stabbed out wide to Jin Ho. Grants forward again. It's his header. Back into the danger area. Away by Ekalab. Seung Mo. They're queuing up here. Another good block. Ryun Song. A trip on the edge of the area and a free kick right on the edge. I think that'll be the first yellow card as well for... Oh, it's a free kick for diving. Well, I thought he'd given the free kick on the edge of the area. Well, it was in the box, actually, from Sang-woo. The Pohang captain gets a yellow card for diving. I have to say, he didn't seem to protest too much about that. Langil. Away by Grant. Good Ratchaburi, snatch an unlikely winner. It's Narakorn that went over. It's a half-hearted appeal for a penalty. He was never going to get anything off the referee for that. Lovely touch. Narakorn. Apiwat. Oh, he's just overrun it slightly. Gathered by Hyun-moo. Grant dived in, just got enough on it. I think he just played it against the shins of Apiwat, which sent it through to Hyun-moo. Shang Hyuk. Diving header away again, only as far as Kwang Hoon. Campon. Got the punch on it. We're going for the overhead. We're into 4 minutes added time, by the way. In fact, we're nearly halfway through the 4 minutes added time. Campon is injured. It was Sang-woo who was trying for the acrobatic overhead. Good goalkeeping from Campon. Having been booked a moment or so ago, going for the acrobatic. Pavi's down injured as well here, which is why there's another hold-up. Well, that was the clearest chance in the second half, the header from Seung Mo that came back off the bar. Pavi, the knock on the head. He will have to come off, of course, which means they're going to have to just defend without one of their main central defenders for the moment. I'm sure the referee will call him straight back on as soon as this ball comes back into play. Ryun Song. Pavi picked up a yellow card in that build-up to that. Still hasn't been called back on yet. We've played the 4 minutes added time. Grant's header. Volleyed away again. Good header by Praveen Vat. 4 in the centre. Praveen Vat once again. Still they can't get the ball properly clear. Driven in from long range, just over the top. That could be the last chance of the game. What a defensive performance it's been by Ratchaburi. All the way through to Hyun Moo. Grant. Last ball looking long. There's 4 waiting in the centre. There's arriving now. It's just over the top again from Sang Hyub. Well, there's bodies everywhere inside the penalty area as the referee's whistle brings it to a close. And Ratchaburi have turned in a sterling defensive performance. Sang Hyub right at the end with a header that went over the top. There were appeals for fouls, there are players down injured. The Thais have given their all in this searing heat. Pohang couldn't find a way through, and what it means now is that Nagoya Grampus beat Johor later on. They will top the group and go through to the knockout stages. Pohang have work to do in their final game against Nagoya to make sure they have enough points to go through as one of the best second-place teams. But Ratchaburi are off and running with their first point. They still haven't managed a goal, but they have managed a clean sheet and their first point. Full time at the Raja Mangala in the first game of the day. It's finished Ratchaburi FC 0, Pohang Steelers 0.